Hello, good evening everyone. So we'll wait for 2 minutes so that everyone else join. Please share this Instagram live with your friends, other homeopaths as well, so that they can join you. We'll start in 1 minute. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Yash.
Thank you so much, sir, for joining me, for accepting my request, and for everyone, I would like to tell you that this is the first Instagram live Dr. Atul sir is doing, and the sole purpose of this Instagram live is to help, to guide, to show a roadmap to the younger generation of homeopathy so that everyone can thrive in this field. Once again, thank you so much, sir, and I wish you a very happy Guru Purnima. You are a true inspiration to me and to many students across the world.
Thank you, Yash. And since it's Guru Purnima, I also have to thank my Guru, whose photo you can see on the background,
Yes, yes.
Professor George Vithoulkas. And I hope in this discussion today, because maybe some people don't know my teacher, my life-changing teacher, my Guru is from Greece.
Yeah.
So how a teacher in Greece transformed my life sitting in India is a story maybe we will cover in your questions today.
Sure, sir, sure.
Yeah.
So, good evening, everyone, and I welcome you all. I hope you all are doing great. And today I feel incredibly blessed because I am sharing this space on the day of Guru Purnima with my Guru. And for those who may not be knowing Dr. Atul Jaggi sir, I want to introduce him in a brief. Like Dr. Atul Jaggi sir came in contact with homeopathy in 1991 and he did his BHMS from the very prestigious Nehru Homeopathic Medical College, New Delhi. He is a internationally renowned classical homeopath, and but the true transformation of his homeopathic career began in 1996 when he came in contact with the legendary Professor George Vithoulkas sir, who needs no introduction. So in year 2000, he received the prestigious diploma from International Academy of Classical Homeopathy, where he stood third amongst 170 international doctors and receiving a scholarship. So he delivered seminars and webinars in more than 10 countries, and he is an inspiration to so many students all over the world by spreading classical homeopathy all over. So I welcome you again, sir, and
Thank you, yes. Thank you.
I truly feel that this session will be an eye opener for all the younger homeopaths because
I
sir will be sharing his experience, his wisdom, and those who are feeling directionless, those who needs a guide, a mentor, sir is here for us.
I will try my best, Yash.
Yes.
And as I can only say that as homeopathy has changed my life, I wish and pray it can change the lives of all homeopaths, young homeopaths who are struggling to find a direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sir, with your permission, shall we begin the question?
Yes, yes, of course.
So the first question, it is the very common question, especially in the initial days of homeopathy, and that is it even worth practicing homeopathy today? Especially today when there is so much controversy, so much comparison, so much criticism between homeopathy and modern medicine. Is there a purpose beyond just financial gains? And what can homeopathy offer to a youth?
I resonate with this question because, as you said, you see, I passed my 12th in 91 and I did not wanted to become a homeopath. I wanted to do medicine, but I wanted to become a MBBS doctor. But at that time, I could not clear the entrance examinations. So I thought that I will spare one more year to study and prepare again. So my father suggested there was this Nehru Homeopathic college was hardly 5 kilometers away from our place. So he said, why don't you join this and you study together and next year you decide. So as you ask in your question, I was not wanting to become a homeopath. But you see the destiny now, so this was 91, now 9 plus 20, yeah, it is 34 years now, right?
Yes.
And now I want to say that if somebody even gives me millions of rupees to leave homeopathy, I will not do that. So this is the essence of my journey from not becoming a homeopath, and now it's a divine blessing to me. So what you say is correct, Yash. What is the future?
Yeah.
You see, it depends on the main purpose of the student.
Correct.
If the student is only interested in money, wants to
Mm.
make money, my answer and my suggestion would be not to come for homeopathy. But
Okay.
if they want to help humanity, they have compassion for suffering people,
Mm.
then trust me, homeopathy can fulfill all their materialistic dreams, what they can imagine.
Correct.
And this is not my line. Always I have heard this line from Professor Vithoulkas, and I
Mm.
have witnessed this happening in all the lives of the people who follow homeopathically sincerely.
Correct.
So if you follow this path, trust me, all your materialistic ambitions, you will definitely receive them through divine blessings. Okay.
Okay.
So this is one of my suggestions which I want to say. But you see, when we do homeopathy, we learn throughout our lives till the last day.
Yeah.
But for example, let's say if we compare from an allopathic doctor, right?
Mm.
In the beginning of their practices, if you see their prescription, they write very carefully.
Correct.
And over the years, a kind of routinist practice sets in
Mm.
and a kind of boredom sets in because they become routinist, right?
Right.
So slowly, if you see their prescriptions, they can only be understood by their own chemist and no one else.
Correct.
In
That's true.
homeopathy, this never happens. If you practice homeopathy classically, individualized for every person, till the last day of your life, you will learn from every case.
Yes.
So this is the best part of homeopathy. You see
Correct.
that if you don't fall into boredom, life is full of learning
Mm.
and helping humanity and still satisfying your personal dreams. So what is
Correct.
better than this, I can say.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you so much for this answer, sir. And it means that homeopathy offers a deeper and more fulfilling path than any other career. Yes.
absolutely. I fully believe in this.
So, sir, we'll go to the next question. The
Okay.
question is, I know a lot of students are often confused when they hear about different methods of practice in homeopathy, like which
Yeah.
one to choose. There are classical homeopathy, then people only focusing on physicals, people only focusing on mentals, some evolved versions of homeopathy. So, as a young student, the doubt is which one should I choose and why?
Yes. You see, first we have to understand as practitioners that human being is not just a material body.
Correct.
It is an energy complex. So we are talking of energy fields which is in sin from the birth till death. There is a constant communication with the cosmic energy and there is exchange of energies. Okay.
Yeah.
So if we understand a human being in this form, and now what does homeopathy do? A single remedy touches the energy of the patient and balances the flow of energy between that patient and the cosmic energy.
Right.
So the energy starts flowing in a harmonious way
Yeah.
and slowly bringing the patient towards health.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, when you talk about polypharmacy, it is like practicing homeopathy in an allopathic way.
Wait.
You
Correct.
are throwing different remedies at different areas,
Hmm.
which will not help. You see,
Hmm.
so if you are really interested in bringing a jump
Jump.
in the health of your patients, if you are really interested to, as we read in our books, Herring's Law,
Yeah.
then the only way is through classical homeopathy. Because by polypharmacy, we can remove symptoms. No doubt about that. You give 5 remedies affecting, let's say a patient has headache.
Hmm.
You mix 5 remedies, you give it for headache, his headache will get better.
Yes.
After some time, he will come with another complaint, maybe even deeper, if you have been able to suppress the headache,
True.
right? But classical homeopathy, which is giving one remedy
Hmm.
and stimulating that energy correctly, will slowly bring a jump in the level of health.
Yeah.
And then we will witness, let's say, the suppressed eruptions which he had many years ago coming back. And
Yes.
this is a proof that the patient is getting better from the roots,
Right.
right? And also, I want to say, Yash, that you see, when you talk about classical homeopathy, law of similars, which we read, okay,
True.
now this is a natural law
Hmm.
and it holds true not only in chronic diseases, even in the severe of acute diseases,
Yeah.
pneumonia, meningitis, and even acute emergencies
Hmm.
like stroke, like cardiac arrest,
Yes.
but only if you give single remedy at a time.
Hmm.
So, just for the viewers, I would like, you see, once you witness this happening,
True.
you will never practice any other form of homeopathy.
Correct. Correct.
So, I remember I have shared this case with my students. My mother had a stroke, a cerebrovascular accident. So she had diarrhea,
Hmm.
and somebody asked her to take a lot of raw tea in water. So she took it, and her diarrhea got better. And the same night, when she woke up in the morning, she had hemiplegia, and she lost her voice. Okay.
Yes.
So I was there, and her brothers came, and it was a big decision to shift her to the hospital in the ICU.
Correct.
Now here is where we have, because she was diabetic also,
Yeah.
and I knew that if we take her to the hospital, we will lose her.
Mm.
Okay, now this is the time, because the law similia similibus stands true even in every health situation.
Right.
So I took the symptoms and I prescribed first belladonna. It did not work. Then I prescribed kali bromatum,
Yeah.
and because she was not able to talk,
Mm.
she could not. I gave her a pen to write something. It was a stroke of the Broca's area.
Okay. Okay.
So she could not write, could not speak, and we gave kali bromatum on the keynote because her hands were restless.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it is a specific remedy where Broca's area gets gets affected.
Correct.
By the evening, she was talking, and by
Wow.
the next morning, her
Mm.
diarrhea came back, the
Oh.
suppressed diarrhea. So you see, once you see this, how can you go for any other form of homeopathy? Or you see,
Correct.
now this is what I can share, my personal experience. I also, just because you see, people say homeopathy is for colds, common colds.
Mm.
So once we were in Nagpur, in a there was this gathering of saintly people. Some,
Mm.
so we
Mm.
went to this gathering, and one of the Baiji, we call, she was a female yogi. She suddenly collapsed,
Oh.
and when I touched her, there was no pulse. It was like a cardiac arrest. So she was cold, no pulse. I gave her Lorocerassus, and by the time they called, there was this. They called the car to take her to the hospital. In the car, within few minutes, her pulse came back, and she started snoring, loud
Mm.
snoring.
Mm.
I gave her opium, and by the time we reached hospital, she opened up her eyes.
That quick.
That what can be quicker than this?
Nothing else.
So once you witness this,
Mm.
then I know all questions slowly get solved.
Sorry. Right.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
sir, it was such a powerful explanation, and we can understand that homeopathy, classical homeopathy especially, is more than just a quick fix. We are
Absolutely.
balancing out the whole individual, and it is not true that it only helps in chronic cases. You have given the examples, and nothing can be as quick as it when followed correctly.
When followed correctly. And
Yeah,
always remember, it's an energy medicine
yeah,
trying to stimulate the human being correctly.
correctly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, thank you, sir. Thank you. So,
Thank you.
moving on to the next question. So, as now we know that it's best to practice real classical Hahnemannian homeopathy. But how to start learning it? How to practice it? What are the first few steps a beginner can take so that he can evolve over time in his journey in classical homeopathy? What if some student has no guidance, no mentor, or no direction? What steps he can take?
I resonate this with this question also, because you see, when I finished my BHMS from Nehru, I was full of this question: what to do now? Because I knew medicine, the medicine in its the allopathic medicine, and but I knew very little of homeopathy. So you are asking of few steps what one should take. I will tell you just the first step. And
Yeah,
if you take, and if the student takes this one step, rest everything will fall into its place.
What is that first step?
And this I say from my experience. Huh?
Yeah.
The first step is that this student must find a homeopath who believes that homeopathy is one of the best therapeutic modality, who loves homeopathy, who lives for homeopathy. And once you get connected to such a person,
Hmm.
then all your future steps will automatically fall into the correct direction.
Correct.
So after my 5.5 years of BHMS, I was very fortunate. So as I said, I did not want to become a homeopath.
Yeah.
But in Nehru Homeopathic College, I got to read The Science of Homeopathy by Professor Vithoulkas.
Yeah. This is the book.
This is the book. Yes, this is the book.
Hmm.
This book has not only changed my life, because I have met so many people who share the same feelings as I, that it has changed their lives too.
Yes.
So I read this book. Then I wanted to meet George and learn from him. And God was very kind. I got admission into the 4 year diploma course, and next all steps were taken care of.
Yeah.
So this is what I can say, that if you really want to learn correct homeopathy, find a teacher who loves homeopathy, who lives for homeopathy, and who believes that there is nothing better than homeopathy. And then such a teacher will automatically transform your life. You don't
Correct.
need to worry. You are in correct hands from then that moment.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
So that's fantastic. Finding a right mentor,
Right
as
mentor.
I found my mentor 8 months back, and it has changed my life. So everyone should find a mentor who loves homeopathy, who has dedicated his life to homeopathy, and all the future steps will be taken care of automatically. Yeah.
Yes, yes, definitely. And some sacrifices have to be made, but
Correct.
those sacrificing are not, they don't appear to be as sacrifices. You
Yeah.
see, uh, first, after doing the diploma, 4 years, I felt that I need to stay more with Professor Vithoulkas. This
Yeah.
was not enough. So
Mm.
I and my wife, Dr. Latika, we both stayed with George for 2 years.
Mm.
And that was the best period of our lives,
Yes. Yes.
learning continuously from him. So it
Correct.
was the best, very life-changing moments, I must say.
So I forgot to mention that for the viewers, Sir has spent 2 years of his life assisting directly Professor Vithoulkas, and he was with him day in and day out, working with him. So it it was and it might have been a great experience.
And yes, you
Yes,
see, if you take the first step, the cosmic energy helps you. How we stayed there for 2 years, I don't know. How we managed the visas, I don't know. Because for an Indian to stay there for such a long period, was we could only get visas for 3 months.
3 months. Yeah,
So everything was taken care of. So this is
correct, correct.
divine blessing, I must say.
Yes. So the next question is, sir, many students feel that they don't have the support system, the mentor they need to really thrive in this field. So the question is, what if some students live in small town where there is no access to teachers, their financial troubles? What if their family doesn't support them? What if that they don't have the finances to go out of their place and learn from someone? So is it still possible to make it and to thrive in the field of homeopathy?
I laugh because your questions remind me of my past. My father, who took me to the Nehru homeopathic,
Mm.
he was so happy when I finished my BHMS. And then one day I told him that I want to go to Greece to learn from Professor Vithoulkas, and he was against it. He said, "You have finished your 5.5 years, you will waste more time, you better start your clinic." Okay?
Clinic.
So he was very against this idea of me going to Greece and learn from Professor Vithoulkas. But anyhow, I was adamant. I said, no, I am going to go. Now, what is interesting, after learning and coming back, I remember a case of a herpes zoster, a man in India when I finally came and we started our practice.
Yeah.
A man who was actually politically connected and was very influential. So he came as a patient, and this man had herpes zoster. So the allopaths had advised him to take antiviral medicines, and he was in severe pain. So he was connected to my father, and he came and we prescribed iris versicolor. I remember. And in 3 days, the herpes dried up, the pain was 90% better. And this man then went to my father and told him that this is what homeopathy has done.
Mm.
So I remember from that day, my father would proudly tell everyone that my son has gone to Greece and learned from Professor Vithoulkas. So what, because you said that if there is resistance from family,
Family. Yeah.
so even I went through the same stage, but what I wanted to say, if you follow the right path, the same family, a point comes in your life when they will start supporting you.
Correct.
And my father became our biggest advertiser. He would go everywhere and say that my son has learned from Professor Vithoulkas,
Yeah.
who is the best homeopath in the world. So I thank you for reminding my father. So those who, now this is, let's come to the practical part, I understand. So what you asked about people who live in small villages and what should they do. So now something very, you see, because of advancement of technology, and your generation is much more fortunate now.
Yeah.
The whole program, the 4-year course, which I attended personally, now all that program is available as an e-learning program, 2 years e-learning program,
Yeah.
which every student can attend sitting at their homes, whether they stay in small villages, wherever, and
Correct.
they can have this personal mentoring.
Okay.
And because you are already doing this course, so
Yeah.
those who don't know, this course is full of live cases with their follow-ups over a period of 4-5 years.
Okay. Yeah.
So that is the best learning one could get. Other than learning about materia medica, other than theory. So those, I think now you people are more fortunate that you can learn correct homeopathy through this e-learning program.
Yeah.
So those who are interested, I would like you to share the website of
Sure. Sure.
Professor Vithoulkas. Yes.
So here comes the question in minds of student that there are so many courses available.
Yeah.
We are confused which one to choose. and everyone claim that this is a course which will teach them classical homeopathy.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask you that why a person should opt for e-learning course.
Why?
What is the specialty for those who might not know about this course?
Okay. So as I said, when I went, there was no e-learning. I
Yeah,
was just mesmerized by the information that Professor Vithoulkas had written in the Science of Homeopathy. Okay,
one
this
student
book.
is asking, please show me that book again. I'll show this. This is the
Yeah,
book.
yeah, this is the book.
Yes, sir.
Now, so 60 years of practice of Professor Vithoulkas, seeing lakhs of cases. Okay, so his knowledge he has tried to give in this course from the scratch till the complete knowledge in
Hmm.
this program.
Okay.
So whether you are a new homeopath, whether you are an experienced homeopath, by doing this course, your all your questions regarding theory, regarding managing cases over a long period will get cleared. You see, homeopathy is not about finding the first correct remedy. Many people say our patients got better.
Yeah.
What next?
What next?
What to do when the acute patient suffers from acute fevers?
Right.
Should we prescribe? Should we not prescribe?
Yes.
How to handle these things? What is happening at every particular moment? Should we wait? So these are, you see, in very important topics.
Yeah.
And what I want to say, Yash, you see, I have seen many people who talk about, who teach homeopathy, but they focus mostly upon materia medica,
Material
finding
medical.
that. But much more important than materia medica is the theory, the organon of homeopathy.
Yeah.
Because many times you prescribe the correct remedy, the patient shows a reaction which is correct,
Right.
but because you don't understand the reaction, you think something wrong is happening, you spoil the good reaction by interfering with the new remedy.
Right.
So you understand why this depth, deep knowledge is important.
Correct.
So this is why I think e-learning, and there is no substitute of it.
Yeah.
And I also want to tell people that there are, as my personal experience, I went to Greece again to repeat the e-learning.
Yeah.
So from 96 to 2000, I did it for the first time. Then from 2008 to 2010,
Right.
I did it for the second time.
Yes.
This proves the importance and the depth and the treasure of information that is
Right.
there in this program.
Right.
Okay. So those who have doubts, they should access the free trial which is available on the website, and their doubts will be solved.
Right.
Right.
So it's incredibly inspiring, sir. So no matter where we are, where we live, we can start from anywhere. If we have love
Absolutely.
for homeopathy, if we are dedicated, if we have a never giving attitude, never giving up attitude, we can thrive in this field. And choosing a right mentor and especially a right course like a e-learning course can be a blessing.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So this brings us to the very important point, that is confidence. Many students and practitioners feel unsure of themselves when they begin their practice. Confidence can be a big hurdle. So I want to ask your experience. Like, did you ever feel the same in your initial days? And how did you build your confidence that I can manage so difficult cases? And what challenges did you face in your journey? And what kept you going on?
You know, lack of confidence is a good thing. Eh, I still feel that I lack confidence when a difficult case is sitting in front of me and I'm battling for an hour and still not understanding the remedy. But this keeps you going.
Correct.
You see, this keeps you learning. So it is a good thing. Actually, overconfidence stops the growth.
Right. Right. Very true.
So my suggestion is to not fight with this, because this is what will make you open up your books, go
Yes.
through the material. So you see, those homeopaths who don't want to refer to the repertories, thinking that what the patient will think, that the doctor is opening the books in front of me. This is killing, not only for the patient but also for the homeopath.
Right.
Okay, so this lack of self confidence is a good thing, is a positive quality. Okay, now how to come over it is by studying, and by when we will watch the mentor curing difficult cases.
Right.
Okay,
Yeah.
and the miraculous cures, then that confidence will come. So just giving you an example, let's say you treat a fever of a child with 100 fever. Okay,
Right. Right.
some days later you treat a fever of a child with 104 fever,
Yes.
and some days later you treat a child having double pneumonia with homeopathy.
Maybe.
So slowly this makes your confidence better.
Right.
But the idea is to believe in the power of homeopathy.
Correct.
Don't, you see, I read somewhere that a homeopath fails, but homeopathy never fails.
That's true.
So, because it is a natural law and it is applicable in all forms of diseases, if we are failing, this means we are missing some information,
Information.
either from the family patient, or we are missing some knowledge. So, let us open our books,
Yeah.
go through the information, and maybe we are missing the correct remedy.
Yes.
And
Yes.
once we get it, the miracle will happen. And that will give you the confidence. You see?
Yes. Yes.
So this is slowly how I remember, Yash, in the beginning days when we came back from Greece. So our son went through all the epidemic diseases.
Hmm.
So he went through typhoid, cholera, whooping cough, and first I would try myself, and if I was unsuccessful, I will call George. That George,
Yeah.
we are in a problem. So on the phone, he would take symptoms, and he was always successful in treating the acutes of our child. And difficult acutes, typhoid, cholera, where he was vomiting, passing loose stools. So once you see that happening,
Yes.
once you witness this,
Yes. Yes.
how can you leave this divine science?
Very
You
true,
see,
sir.
in tough times, this science will help us, as it has always helped.
Yes. Yes.
So all I want to say is, don't leave the faith, and it will help you definitely.
So that's really encouraging, sir. And I see every day to sir that whenever there are no patients or whenever we have some time, sir opens up the book and asks us that which remedy we should study. Even after 28 years of practice, even after being so successful in the field of homeopathy, he reads regularly. So we as a student must dedicate our life and we must continue, keep reading, like study, 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 and repeat it. This is the only way we can grow as a homeopath. Thank you, sir. Thank
Since you mentioned this, for the participants, I want to share something because I have been very fortunate to assist Professor Vithoulkas when he takes the case. So even now, after 60 years of practice, when because all difficult cases come to him, right?
you.
So at this age of 90 plus, 60 years of practice, who has been to homeopaths all over the world, when such a difficult case comes, I see him battling for 1.5 hours because I'm on the software putting the symptoms, and he will open the boric, read it, the small print with his specs. So this is, you see, this, as I said in the beginning, till the last day of our lives. And this is the best part of homeopathy.
Yes.
And we are, I am blessed because I have seen this through Professor Vithoulkas, and that is why
He is a
it is
true inspiration to many
true,
students.
true. Absolutely, absolutely, yes, yes,
So we can just say that study, study and forget, but don't forget to study.
yes. Don't forget to study, yes. And
So this,
if you are interested to give health to your patients, if that is your prime motto, you will never stop to study.
correct.
This is for sure. Because every new case is a new puzzle,
Yes.
and you will open your books. So that is the purpose of
So if our intention
homeopathy.
is correct, we can definitely grow.
Yes.
Sir, there's a sub question related to this. Like there are so many literatures available. So
Yeah.
can you please tell a beginner or guide him like these are the basic literatures. First, we should master those, and then we can proceed to others.
Okay. So one, the which I said that if you really are interested in learning homeopathy in its depth, one is you should at least try to explore e-learning, see uh, uh, the academy provides a, what is the word,
Curriculum. Curriculum.
curriculum. They should go through it. This is one. Now from classical authors, they should read Borike, Kent, Kent's philosophy, and the book which you showed, The
Science
Science
of
of
it.
Homeopathy.
Again, I'll
Also,
show
I
you.
want you to show the red book next to it.
Yeah. So
Now, I must tell all the participants, this is, you see, a great, how much, a big discovery by Professor Vithoulkas, The
yeah,
Levels of Health.
levels of it.
So, these two books are now being published in India, which in our times it was not there.
Yeah.
So, these two big books are a big advantage, which will make a student understand the theory
Okay.
and what I said in before.
Yeah.
So these books one should go through.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So the next question is how do we identify a real mentor, a real teacher? What should one look for in a teacher or teaching style? What kind of learning actually leads to clinical success?
Yes, I lost the beginning part of your question. Please
Sir,
repeat.
I'll repeat the question.
Uh,
So the question is how do we identify a real mentor, a real teacher? What should one look for in a teacher or teaching style? And what kind of learning actually leads to clinical success?
The secret is the teacher who lets you sit with you adjacent and see all the new cases, explains you the basis of his prescription, and allows you to see the follow-ups and the effect of the remedy. That is a real teacher.
Okay.
You see, presenting cases, recorded cases, is not a correct learning. If a teacher allows you to sit with him all the time,
Yes.
watching all cases, new cases, and their follow-ups, and explaining to you at every point,
Hmm.
this is the best learning.
Definitely.
Okay. Now, in this, you see what is the best part? Because when you assist such a mentor, you will see this mentor prescribing not only for chronic cases, but
Yes.
even during the acutes,
Yes.
even during the emergencies. So you will know from this mentor that what are the therapeutic possibilities of homeopathy. So a mentor who can show you this,
Yes. Yes.
who can prove to you this, is the right mentor for you to put your first step to.
True.
Okay. So live cases, follow-ups, acute emergencies, and long-term management, as I said, where
Yes.
you can witness the old symptoms coming back. You can witness the Herring's law.
Yes. Yes.
This is the place where correct homeopathy is happening. Put all your efforts to connect to such a place.
Yes.
Okay, if somebody just presents to you, I gave a remedy and the patient was much better,
Yeah.
differentiate this from the real long-term management.
True.
Okay, now this is, in a short, I can only say this, yes, that this is the way a beginner can differentiate.
That's a brilliant guidance, sir, and thank you. And I made a post few days back. I uploaded it like, who is the right teacher of homeopathy? So I just told all the viewers, all the young students, that homeopathy is so deep and life is so short. If you get stuck with a wrong mentor, your life will be in danger. So
Yeah.
before believing anything, you just test him. You ask him lot of questions, and if he is giving you all the answers, and if he is explaining the long term case management, he is the best teacher you can ever have.
Exactly. You see, this is what, when I used to go to Greece for 4 years, Professor Vithoulkas would take live cases, come into the class, analyze the cases in front of us, and explain in detail why I am giving this remedy, why this potency.
Yes.
Okay. Now the follow-ups over a period of 4 years were taken live in front of us.
Yes.
Now, what better learning can there be in
There.
compared to this?
True.
So, I just want to tell the participants that choose your mentor wisely if you
Wisely.
don't want to get lost, as you said.
Correct, sir. So this is the most common question, and it is a never-ending question in the field of homeopathy. The question of miasm and potency. Which potency to
Yeah.
select, what to give, what is the role of miasm in real practice? Because many teachers explain it differently, and at
Yeah.
last the student gets confused. Like, Should I believe in this? Is it still applicable practically? So sir, please throw some light on these two topics.
Okay. So before I speak about miasms, I just want to tell again that the red book which you showed, the
I'll
levels
show
of
you.
health, this books, if you go through this book, you will understand miasms, predispositions, and the potency selection in
Yes.
great depth. All the answers will get solved.
Yes.
Okay. Now, even I was confused after my BHMS
Hmm.
about this miasm. So, to describe it in a nutshell, miasm is a new predisposition which appears after suppressing an infection, or if we refer miasm in a pure Hahnemannian way,
So your
by
voice is breaking, sir. Your voice is breaking.
now,
I think there is a network issue.
now, is it better?
Yeah, it's better, sir.
Okay, so I will again repeat, miasm is a predisposition to a new disease when you end up suppressing something. For example, if you suppress scabies by ointments, you develop a predisposition of asthma.
Right.
Okay, so asthma was not there before. You suppressed scabies and a new predisposition appeared.
Right.
Now you suppress this asthma with corticosteroids and a new predisposition will appear, which is, let's say, ulcerative colitis.
Okay.
Okay, you suppress this ulcerative colitis with strong allopathic immunosuppressants, and then a new predisposition appears, let's say suicidal depression.
Right.
So every time we are going deep and a new predisposition is appearing.
Yes. Yes.
So this is newer predispositions appearing after suppressing infective diseases is miasms.
Okay.
More the miasms, more is the burden of pathology on that patient.
Yes.
This is logical, of course, right?
Okay. Yeah.
So more the miasms, more difficult is the case.
Hmm.
So according to the level of health book,
Hmm.
Professor Vithoulkas says that such a patient belongs to lower level of health.
Hmm.
So he has divided human health into 12 levels of health.
Okay.
Those who have many miasms on them,
Hmm.
they belong to lower levels of health.
Yes.
And it will take many remedies and a long duration
Hmm.
to treat them.
Right.
So in such a case, we start with a low potency
Okay.
because many miasms, lower level of health, more possibility of organic pathology,
Right.
right? So in such cases, we start with lower potency and we repeat. For example, we can give 12C or LM potencies daily.
Right.
Patients who belong to upper level of health, they have minimal miasmatic burden, minimal.
Yes.
In such cases, we give high potencies.
Hmm.
Okay, but I am presenting this in a very concise form.
Hmm.
The level of health book describes it in a very detailed, beautiful form,
Okay.
complete form.
Right.
Fortunately, this book is available now in India,
Yes.
and I would request you to share with the participants the
Definitely.
phone number of Dr. Viraj from where they can get this book.
Definitely, sir. Definitely. So, to summarize, in simple terms, sir said that every person has different level of health. In simple terms, it is different kind of immunity. If you are in upper level of health, you have good immunity and lower miasmatic burden or less miasmatic burden. If you are in lower level of health, you have more miasmatic burdens and you will require many remedies to clear up your case. And in those cases, we can approach with lower potencies.
Lower
If you are
potency.
in good
But
level of health, you can go higher.
yes, but because you use the word immunity, I want to correct
Yes.
because people will misunderstand you.
Yeah.
Professor Vithoulkas, you see, this discovery of his, I believe, is the you see he should get a Nobel Prize for this because he has found that when your level of health goes down, miasmatic burden increases.
Increases.
You become immune to infective diseases and you stop developing high fevers.
Right.
So if you hear parents coming, okay, and the boy suffers from ADHD, is running all over the room, and the mother will say, 10 years ago or 5 years ago, my boy used to get frequent fevers,
Right.
acutes, but touch wood, they will say, touch wood.
That's good.
Now, now he is immune
He is
to
immune.
fevers. This immunity is no good.
No good.
His his level of health has fallen down.
Falling down. Right.
That is now a predisposition of ADHD has appeared, which was not there before.
Correct.
Correct? So
Correct.
when we will cure this ADHD, his restlessness will get better and the old fevers will return.
Mm. Mm.
This means the health will get better.
Right. Right.
Okay?
Yes.
And his immunity to fevers will reduce,
Yeah.
which is a good thing. Good
Yes,
thing.
sir.
You see?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank
Okay.
you. Sir, there is a very common question like, does miasm play a role during case taking and in the prescription? Like
Hmm.
people prescribe anti-miasmatic remedies and all that sort of things.
Yes. Even you see, similia similibus curanter is the only law to prescribe, which means symptoms are the only signpost. Symptoms are the only basis of prescription.
Yes.
So I can say with complete underlining that miasms help us to understand the prognosis of a case.
Yes.
More the miasms, difficult the prognosis,
Difficult.
right? But
Yes.
miasms per se do not help us in finding the correct remedy.
True.
The symptoms are the real guide. We take the totality of symptoms.
Yes.
We try to find the best remedy based on totality,
Mm.
mental emotional essence,
Yes.
keynotes, right?
Right.
If this If this method fails,
Sir, voice is breaking, sir.
then I don't know what is the problem. Now,
Hello, sir.
now, hello.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming.
So, if the symptoms do not help us, we try on the basis of symptoms. Most often, we will find the correct remedy.
Okay.
In few cases, if these three strategies do not help, then we can say, let's say a patient says, I have never been well since diphtheria.
Hmm. Hmm.
Then we are entitled to prescribe diphtherinum,
Right.
okay,
Yes.
to open up the case.
Open up the case.
But symptoms are the first basis of prescription. We cannot go other way around.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you for such a clear explanation, sir. So to wrap up today's session, there is one final question. Like, what would you say to someone who is about to give up on homeopathy? Someone who is demotivated, someone who feels they don't have the courage or faith to keep going in homeopathy, and how can they reconnect with their purpose and believe in this system again?
I think by sharing my story and all the examples which I have given,
Yes.
the real student who wants to learn for the benefit of homeopathy
Hmm.
will not leave homeopathy.
True.
Homeopathy, Yash, is a blessing, as Professor Vithoulkas says.
Yes.
And I believe God has been very kind to those people whom He gives homeopathy.
True.
This is my belief. They are the chosen loved ones of God.
But
You see, you say that the student may leave homeopathy, and I feel a time will come when patients will look for a good homeopath, a classical homeopath,
right.
by the genie, lamp, Aladdin genie lamp.
So voice is again breaking, sir.
I said they will try to find a classical homeopath through a genie lamp,
Gene.
as, because the classical homeopath would be in such great demand.
Right.
So homeopathy is very powerful, and you will believe it once you witness its effect.
True, sir.
So all what I can say is follow it, find the correct mentor,
Hmm.
find the correct educational institution, and trust me, this thought of leaving homeopathy will never cross the mind then.
True. True, sir. So there's a last question in the comments. One student was asking,
Yes,
like, uh, few people have like financial load on themselves in the initial days. They cannot spend so much of their
right.
time in waiting, because in initial days it is difficult to get patients. So how can they balance this situation? Is there a way? Can you please throw some light on this?
I also, the same was my problem, yes. As I said, my father was not in support of me going to Greece and learn
Yes.
because it was a financial constraint.
Right.
But something magical happened. Some people got ready to help, and it happened. So, first of all, I want to share, because this is the purpose. I share my own story.
Right, right,
If there is a will in you to learn for the betterment of suffering humanity, you will get the help needed for sure, for sure.
right.
From any corners, it will come. It will just pour in, and you will not know, even understand how it happened.
True.
So my suggestion is to not just hold on to the desire,
Yes,
the purest of intention, and rest. It will happen for sure,
correct.
because it has happened with me. That is why I say with confidence.
Yes, yes.
Because for me to go to Greece for 4 consecutive years was impossible, but it
Mm.
happened. So this is what my suggestion is.
Yes. If our intent is good, everything will fall in place with time.
Yes, it will.
Yes. So, thank you so much, sir, for your valuable time, for sharing, for guiding, for throwing lights on subjects which are the very most common doubts of all the young homeopaths. And it means a lot for me, especially because you came live for the first time. That was the biggest thing. And people learning from you on these basic questions is a blessing. Thank you so much, sir, once again.
I also thank you, Yash, for inviting me.
So it's my
And
pleasure, sir.
honestly, I did this for you because I see this uh, intention in you that you want to help your circle finding them the correct homeopathy.
Right, right, sir.
So this is the intention of you and me both. And on this day, by the blessings of God and our teacher, I
Yeah,
hope this will be, people will find the right direction.
right direction. Yes. So
Thank
to
you, yes,
everyone
thank you.
watching, thank you so much for joining us constantly, sir. Like around 100 people were live with us, and thousands of people will be watching this video afterwards. So it's really a blessing. And on this day of Guru Purnima, this day has become like even more greater for all of us to hear from you. Thank you everyone
Thank
for
you, yes, thank
watching,
you,
and thank
thank
you
you,
sir for joining us.
thank you. Bye bye, bye.
Bye. Good night, sir.
Good night.